how people sometimes get confused because we are running in a very fast-paced. I'm just giving an example of me.
Yeah.
So when I use the self-hypnosis, because you can also self-hypnose yourself. So when I use the self-hypnosis, I take control on my conscious awareness. I mean, on my conscious reactions. I take a deep breath. I recollect, I reclaim, and just become more aware of my own reaction.
When do you recommend to have this hypnotherapy? At what stage of my life? Is it something I have to have on regular basis, or something I can have whenever I face a problem one day? Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today I have a beautiful lady. She's name is Ranya Husaini. She's a certified, licensed rapid transformational practitioner and also hypnotherapist, licensed and certified. Another thing to add to the list is she is a certified NLP practitioner and coach. She says, be stronger than your excuses. She talks about mindset coaching and motivation speaker. Rania Husseini. Good morning, Rania.
Good morning. How are you?
So beautiful to have you here. And thank you very much for being my guest today.
Thank you so much.
Just like every time, I like the guest to introduce himself or herself. So it will be just like a quick of maybe 30 seconds, if you can tell us who's Rania Husseini.
Okay, so Rani Al-Husaini is someone who has gone through stages and trials, who has discovered the true meaning of some of the symptoms or the causes that could get us as people or as human beings stagnant in life. So to make this short, I started to understand myself so well and understand the triggers that could lead me to a certain situations or to certain reactions. So I built up on the fact that my own library that I had stored in my brain, for example, the wording that I used to talk to myself or refer to myself, or even the stories that I used to recall every single day that remind me of a certain situation and how I reacted. So then I started to understand exactly that I could be self-sabotaging myself, or I could restrict myself in so many ways. And then I gradually understood that the true meaning of how I can motivate, push, or even bring myself into the best state of mind. So
So,
this is how I discovered.
okay, you said discovery stage, right? So you've been through a point that you discovered that I have a talent, I have a purpose, I have something in me that I can focus on, just like you were saying. So what was this discovery point after just like started to study something, or how did it happen?
Okay, so that is a very interesting and very clever question, because as I was growing, I had this interest in understanding why do people do certain things, why do people behave, why do people react in certain situations. So I started to dig deep into psychology and understand exactly what is it that makes people go toward this or say something like that. There must be something that would push them to do this thing or say this thing, or maybe that's how people react. uh, so I took it from there and I started to read more about psychology, psychoanalysis, and then I started to do the NLP coaching and practitioner course, which gave me a lot of light in how people uh, uh, could either kill themselves or
Oh,
build up. Yeah, they could kill themselves by the wording that they always repeat. because your mind will always understand by the repetitive words that you say to the mind. For example, if I was put into a situation that made me look stupid,
Hmm.
that was unfortunate, but I took the meaning of the situation, and I always refer to it that, God forbid, I mean, Ranya is stupid, for example. I'm not just referring, but this is how people always,
You mean
and
you
you
mean
could
you
just,
talk you talk yourself between you and inner you.
exactly,
It's
yeah,
like the
because
language you're talking to yourself.
exactly, because the situation that is stored in your mind was labeled as I am stupid. So whatever like situation that would face you in the future, you would always recall that wording,
Oh,
even if you are not saying it loud. But this is how you see yourself in that situation, and accordingly your mind will always give you that meaning, always
oh,
present in your mind. So this
that's
is how,
ironic.
and
Oh
that's
yes,
how
as
intelligent your mind is.
you judge yourself, you mean, and
Exactly.
you what you will do, you just like encourage the self-esteem.
Exactly.
Hmm, that's something. Okay, we all judge ourselves from all like from different situations or different examples we encounter in our daily life. If we are like in a position over the stage or talking to a group of
Mhm.
people and there was a joke and I was like, oh, I'm not. Uh, Everybody was laughing at me. Then yeah, I can start to judge myself, not to repeat it again, and
Yeah.
maybe I'll have some wording, just like you said.
Yeah.
Okay,
Exactly.
can you tell us about a particular challenging case that you've worked on as a rapid for transformational practitioner, or you helped that person to overcome their obstacles or something?
Exactly. I had like a few months back a situation or a client that was really having a talent in herself. She is a coach, and but she was not really able to believe that she had an inner gut or an inner knowledge that she can help and extend a hand to a client.
Mhm.
And so she was lacking this presence, the presence of being aware of her own talents, aware of her own life, that she can be there and she can say it out loud and she can present herself to clients and people all around her, because she used to have a knowledge that uh, sh- there is something in her that is stopping her from believing that her inner knowledge is the truth.
Hmm.
And this is how people sometimes get confused, because we are running in a very fast-paced environment. Like, everyone is running, everyone is rushing, they have a
Yeah,
hectic
unless
schedule.
we hold it for like 5 minutes, I want to see my kids, for example. Otherwise,
Yeah,
I'll lose track of time. I'm
ex-
living this like time is running just like, oh my God, yesterday was Friday and today is like Thursday.
exactly. So the inner sense of this all is that when you believe on your inner talents, and you keep a peace of mind, which is really very hard in this hectic schedule. But there must be a me time, there must be somewhere where you can slow it down, pause your button, and give yourself so much time to just rewind things, give
Mm,
yourself
mm.
the time, the pleasure of the time of being all alone. So this is how she was really confused and somehow in conflict, in constant conflict. Yet she is having a client, but there's something in her that is holding her inside. So when
Mm.
I went and took her into the hypnosis stages, and hypnosis is all about the relaxation of
Aha,
your
this
nervous
moves to the
system.
next question. Hold on, hold
Yeah.
on. Hypnotherapy is something like it's like I get what's the technique? What's the point of how hypno, hypnotherapy can help me
Yeah.
get a peace of mind. Well, what's the benefit? Why? What's the pain first? What's the pain that I should be facing to yeah, my solution should be hypnotherapy. This is one thing. And second thing, how do you do it? Like you get me unconscious and you take all the questions out of me and I don't know
Yeah.
what
No.
happened. Well, can you tell us more? I'm
Okay.
so excited about it.
Yeah. Yeah. This. In fact, it's a very controversial topic, but I would love to just shed some light on it.
Yeah.
Hypnotherapy is about the sleeping of your nervous system. So right now, I'm sitting and facing you, Danielle.
Mm,
At the same time, I might be a little bit shaky, a little bit like stressed. I'm just giving an example of me.
yeah.
So when I use the self hypnosis, because you can also self hypnose yourself. So when I use the self hypnosis, I take control on my conscious awareness. I mean, on my conscious reactions. I take a deep breath. I recollect, I reclaim, and just become more aware of my own reactions.
Mm.
So this moment is really very valuable for you to just focus and become more inner. I mean, like go into your own inner world. So, as an hypnotherapist, hypnosis is much more about sleeping and relaxing, just winding down, uh, become less stressed. Just
It's a kind
it's
of
as
sleeping.
if you are, yeah, as if you are in the early stages of your sleeping. Just remember, when you just start to sleep, you just feel so much weak, so much relaxed, and nothing bothers you. Nothing is really very triggering your points. So this is how it looks like. So if I'm using a hypnotherapy on a client,
Mm.
I am basically
Putting him, yeah.
putting her into this deep, relaxed state of mind. So she is relaxed. She is not tense. She is not a bit weary about how she would be reacting. She would just relax and feel calm down. I mean,
What's
and
the
then I would,
technique? What's the technique?
okay,
How you take her to that point?
probably I would just, first of all, I would just make her concentrate more on deep breathing, because deep breathing is the solution to most of our problems. The more you take a deep breath, the more you relax, the more you have solution to your problems, the more you can think clearly. So she is deep breathing, and then I take her into stages, or I take her into steps of relaxation. So step one, and I tell her, just every step that you are taking, you are just relaxing and connecting back to your inner world. Step two is in a very relaxed state, and so on until she reached to step one. I mean, I begin with step 10, and then
Okay.
it reaches to step one.
And then when you reach the step 10, what
Yeah.
happens? You clean something, you change something, and then before you get back, or
I show her that her mind is always accepting suggestibility. And suggestibility is what I mentioned earlier when I told you, sometimes in our way, in our life, sometimes we face problem, we face situation, and then we judge ourselves very harshly. For example, I
hmm,
told you, like,
you
Ranya
can
is
you
stupid.
can you can fix it.
Yes. So I tell her that how much her brain is accepting the suggestibility that you are saying and referring to yourself. You can, and you have the ability and the capability to just say good words, to say empowering, powerful wording that would push you always to be the best of you. So I then take her into deep techniques. Deep techniques is somewhere where she will fall deep into her own subconscious mind,
Hmm,
where she will, I will just guide her to do a certain practices or
hmm,
certain exercises, and she would follow me.
hmm,
Okay, she would follow the steps that I'm telling her. And the first deepening technique would be like, I'll tell her that there will be two magnetic uh, uh, in your palm, and then I'll start to count. And the more these two hands are coming together, you are going deep into your subconscious mind until your hands will meet and then they fall easily. And I take
Wow.
it into another deepening technique.
So
This
you,
deepening technique,
okay, so
yeah,
you get certified with that. It's like a practice. It's like a, you have done it many times, right?
yeah.
Okay. And it helps.
It helps in a way that in your life, for example, I'll just take an example on myself.
Mm,
Uh, when I was a kid, for example, I used to go to a school
mhm.
where I used to get bullied by a teacher. It was not a kind of bully, but
Yeah.
she her way of conducting the lesson was a bit tricky, or a bit in conflict to my own consciousness. For example, I was a very shy, sensitive child,
Hmm.
and she would always trigger my point where she would put me on first so that I would feel shy or awkward. So,
Mm.
for example, some people, these kind of stories are repressed deep within their subconscious mind, and the more they grow up, the more they forget about it, or they just repress it deep down because they feel ashamed, or in some way or in somehow this situation made them feel inferior or bad looking or something like that. So at that point in hypnosis, I just trigger the client to bring up this feeling or to bring up this situation, and as if she is watching herself or watching that scene or event or situation or experience or even a feeling. And that would not, it doesn't matter anymore, it doesn't matter
Is
anymore
there,
because
okay, is there a side effect, a risk of me giving up this much? I mean, is there something that can be reflected negative if I go through the hypnotherapy? Is it dangerous?
it's not dangerous, but sometimes you would awaken some sort of feelings that has been buried long time ago. So we always try to envelop the client in such a way that we always follow up with the client, guide the client to take care of the feelings that might come up suddenly and just show up as if it is a horror movie,
Mm.
because some of the feelings are repressed deep down, and when they come up they trigger out a situation that has been buried down
Oh,
long time back. So it become a horror movie. The people sometimes become really very disturbed if the situation was a little bit not really pleasing to the client. So they become disturbed, they become anxious, everything goes back on and on. So this
oh,
is how,
okay.
yeah. So this is
So
how we always, yeah.
what I asked the question before, but maybe I did not have a clear idea. So is
Okay.
it something uh, I feel like I need hypnotherapy now, or I mean, when do you recommend to have this hypnotherapy? Uh, at what stage of my life? Is it something I have to have on regular basis, or something I can have whenever I face a problem one day?
In normal situations, people will use hypnotherapy if they are facing some issues. I mean, like stress, anxiety, panic attacks. They don't feel good about themselves. They feel stagnant. They are blocked. They are
Hmm.
not successful enough. Normal situation that is blocking them. They have a potential, but they are blocked. They think they have some kind of void inside them that is blocking them, restricting them. So this is how we just guide them to
Hmm.
understand themselves really very well. I mean,
Hmm.
this is about understanding yourself and understanding myself, and everyone is understanding themselves when they go deep in their subconscious
Yeah.
mind.
So it's healthy. We someone can do it on regular basis, but usually people come out of stress or out of some symptoms they don't face usually, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let's move to another dimension, which is I focused a lot about hypnotherapy because I'm so curious about it. Maybe we can
Exactly.
discuss further also after the session.
Yeah.
All right. In your opinion, what's the most important aspect of mindset? Because you're talking about mindset transformation, right? And how do you help your clients achieve in your coaching and speaking engagement about mindset transformation?
Yeah. So in a recent a session that I have given to a client, she was a really a bit in conflict, in constant conflict, that she is not really understanding why she is not embracing her own self, why she is not uh, relaxing more and just
Mm,
feeling more about her own self in her environment. She is a bit cornered. She is a bit overwhelmed.
yeah.
So the mindset that was really that she wanted is that she wanted to believe that she is enough and she can make more of her own resources, and
Mm,
everything is valuable. And she is I mean, I'm not sure if I can give that example, but she was not, because of her own past experiences and because of her own mother, she was a bit shy to
mm,
just enjoy herself more and become aware of her own being and understand that she is a valuable and enough by her own self. So
yeah.
the mindset, yeah, the
But
mindset that I
in
would,
that case, it's one time that you help her set up the mindset before a certain event, or is it something that she can continuously revisit with you to, let's say, empower or keep it or fix it there? That I have to trust myself when I get on that stage, or
yeah.
is it like I have to keep visiting that thing, or it's one time that I can fix my mind and that's it?
It's whenever you want to, it's whenever you need to, it's whenever you feel like you want that push,
Mm,
you want that oomph to just drive on your own car and just go and reach that goal. It's always possible. And even the word impossible says I am possible. So that's how it is.
oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Well, Rania, it's like it's going to be endless talking to you because you have a lot to say and you have a lot of things that has triggering mind
Yeah.
points. But I
Thank you.
usually end up my interviews with the fun part because we are just reaching the end of this session. So, if you don't mind, I have three questions.
Ah, go ahead, please.
You're up to it. Okay.
Yes.
If you could have a dinner with any historical figure, who would it be with and why?
Okay.
Historical
So
means like a name from past. All right.
okay, yeah. So I was always admiring Mother Teresa of her own good doings and of her own support to the people in need. And I used to always look up to her because she had a mission in life. And this mission was to guide people and helping them and finding the light at the end of the tunnel, which she was
Yeah.
doing really very good. So Mother
Yeah.
Teresa is my,
Perfect.
yeah.
Okay. Second one. If you could learn any skill, what would that be added to your skill list?
The skill that I would add to my uh, in what term? Is it soft skill? Is it hard?
Your choice. What new skill would like to have? Like you are a speaker, for example. You used to be shy, and then what? After that,
uh,
breathing
I,
skill.
I don't have really anything in particular, but I would love to reach more. I mean, to reach more and extend myself more. I don't know if this could be considered as a skill, but I would love to reach more audience and just give them the light at the end of the tunnel.
Nice. Okay, one last thing. Can you name only one habit you look to gain or get rid of in 2023?
Okay, so the habit that I would love to enforce more in my daily schedule would be reading more, because I am a reader, so I love reading a lot. But due to the things that could distort me in life, I started to little down the time that I would sit down and read a lot. And this is
That
the habit that I
was
would love to
that
enforce
was a
more.
great, Ranya Husaini. And this is another session of Monday Talks. So everybody, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hear more about great minds, great stories. Thank you very much, Rania, for being with us, and have
Thank
a
you so
lovely
much.
day.
Thank you.
Thank you.